TV today.
Welcome to Miaro Cable TV, where we capture the breathtaking community of Miaro. This includes church events, sporting activities, academic work, community consultation, and anything else that personify Miaro. This is your community station, MCTV3.
Welcome back to Community Corner with your counselor, Raymond Cozier. CCC is much more than a program. It's a commitment that I have made to all members of Miaro and environs to help us move forward as a community. The show thus far has covered issues that affect us as a person and also as a body. Issues such as crime, family hardship, children's behavior, and even financial stability that plague us on a daily basis. One conversation isn't going to fix all the problems. What is intended is that using this medium of CCC right here on MCTV3 to help us find solutions to deal with these matters. I'm Raymond Cozier, your host of Community Corner, and I love my community. Welcome to Community Corner with your counselor, Raymond Cozier. Pleasant evening, and once again, I am happy to be in your homes. This evening, we have another informative program for you, and I hope that you would take the opportunity to capitalize on all the information you would want concerning the topic and the discussions this evening. I will expect you to call in and ask any question you want to ask as it relates to the topic this evening. Recently, we, at the corporation, we hired some litter prevention wardens, and there are 3 of them, and they were training and getting themselves together with all the relevant information, all the relevant preparation. They were waiting on uniforms and organizing themselves to come out into the community of Rio Claro to do their work. And we have in the studio this evening the person who were responsible for all the preparation of the wardens, the design of the uniform, the colors of the uniform, who took a lot of time to prepare them to be outside. So, organize yourself, get the phone numbers intact. We will have the number running across the screen so that you could make your call. I really wish that you would make your call, because it's a while that the Litter Act was passed. This Litter Act was since in 1973. The first time the Litter Act was passed, and it was continued to be revised. It was revised in 76. It was revised in 1981. In 1981 was the year that they really put most of the information into the Act, most of the relevant requirements into the Act. It was again revisited in 1990 and 1992. And from since that time, nothing happened. So people were not really interested and had any relevance of the Litter Act. And now that we have engaged and employed officers because we want to be, we want to take care of our environment. We want our environment to be protected, and we want you to be part of that whole process of protection of our environment. We don't really want to penalize you. It's not that we come out to charge people and to lock up people. But we know this country and we know the world. If there isn't people to police certain actions, we never fall in line. So we didn't want to just come down like an iron fist and just start to charge people and take actions against people. So I thought it best to have the person who is in charge of that whole process, the public health officer of the Mayor Regional Corporation, to come and have a conversation with us, have a conversation with you, and give you an opportunity to be aware of what is happening and what the officers will be looking for, what are the authorities of the officers, what are the duties and responsibilities of the officers, so that you would know where you are going wrong and what you need to do to stay in line. So don't touch that channel. We'll be right back in a few seconds to continue the program.
Bad and the Ugly is back every Tuesday, 8 to 9 p.m. on MCTV3 Live with yours truly, the Poor People's Governor. Be viewing and be part of the discussion as we tackle issues in our community. Join our Facebook fan page by searching for The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, or even video call us live on Skype. You can even follow me on Twitter at Kyron the Voice. So don't forget, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly is back every Tuesday night, 8 to 9 p.m. live on MCTV3. You don't want to miss this.
Welcome back to Community Corner with your counselor, Raymond Cozier. And as I was saying before I took the break, we have in the studio this evening Mr. William Kitson, the Public Health Officer of the Mayor Regional Corporation, to have a conversation with you as it relates to the Litter Act and the implementation of our litter prevention ordinance. Good evening, Mr. Kitson, and welcome to Community Corner.
Good evening, Mr. Councillor Cozier, and thank you.
Okay. Well, as I was saying, we are really happy to have you on the program this evening. And recently, we employed some litter wardens, litter prevention warden, and I know you had the responsibility of preparing them to hit the streets and hit the communities, and also you took the initiative to do flyers and so that we could have a kind of awareness to the members of the community as to what the officers would be looking for and how we could have a proper coordination between the officers and the members of the community. So this evening, we could start by the Act. Just give us a few things about the Litter Act that was passed since 1973 and had all the different provisions. And coming out of the Act, we have the coming on being of the litter prevention warden to work in accordance with the Act.
Yes.
Right. So, and we know since for all this time since after 1992, nothing happened with the Act. So people would have forgotten about Litter Act and anything about Litter Act, anything that they were knowledgeable of would have forgotten, and it comes like something new to them. So, could you share some little information on the Act and what the Act would be expecting the taxi users, maxi users, members of the community? How are they expected to fall in line with some of the critical areas of the Act.
Yes. Okay. As you mentioned before, the Principal Act was passed in 1973. Since then, there have been amendments to this Act. The most significant amendments taking place in 1981, where you could say that the teeth were added to the Act in 1981.
Right.
However, for most municipal corporations, there has not been a sustainable litter prevention program, which has caused people to become lax, forget that there's a litter act, and even if they remember that there's a litter act, they forget what are the provisions of the litter act. And what we are aiming to do in Mayaro Rio Claro is to re-educate people as to what the act is about, to sort of redesign people's mind so that people would establish a new philosophy about their relationship between the environment and themselves.
Right.
Litter, or the act of littering, is an act of violation against the environment and therefore an act of violation against people, because all of us as living things on the planet are creatures of the environment.
Right.
Your physical body is a creation of the environment.
Right.
And the environment continues to sustain our physical bodies.
Right.
And therefore, if we damage the environment by littering, by polluting the environment, it means that we are literally damaging ourselves. So that this act seeks to, at least the enforcement of the act, seeks to change the attitude of people towards the environment. And we are going to be doing that by first educating people, which is what we're doing at present, using the soft touch, where we're distributing flyers. The litter wardens out there speaking to people and educating people on the act itself. We've distributed flyers to taxi drivers to let them know that they have a role to play, that there are certain things in the act that refer to them, as far as having receptacles in their vehicles while they're applying for hire. We've distributed flyers to businessmen indicating to them that they're not allowed to deposit litter on the streets at any time, that there's a specific time for depositing the litter and it must be secured.
Right.
So basically, that is what we're doing at present.
You know, that is very good information, because we would have been seeing in our community where, and not just the businessmen, residents, residents also,
yes,
because people would be putting out garbage anytime. The businessmen, the garbage truck would run. Well, the garbage truck, we had changed the hours in the garbage truck, and have them running at night. And businessmen will go out there, put the garbage on the evening time, so, and all hours you have garbage there, and then after the garbage truck passed too, they will come out and put garbage too, so that you have garbage staying there whole night, whole day, next day, till next evening. So that is a serious concern.
Yes.
So, and even residents, when you have garbage truck that is operating on, I think, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, so that you should be putting out your garbage on Monday morning, Wednesday morning, and Friday morning. So if you too are putting out garbage Tuesday, then you committing an offense?
Yeah, you're committing an offense. You need to put out your garbage on scheduled collection days. So if in your area your scheduled collection days are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, You should only put garbage out for collection on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Right. So you see, and this is very important information, because I am seeing people putting out garbage anytime. You know, the garbage truck will run Monday. So sometimes they put out garbage Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So that garbage will stay in there Saturday, Sunday, until Monday morning. So we are hearing that is an offense.
Yeah, it is an offense. I think what has happened is when you don't have a sustainable program of enforcement, the people fall into a state of indiscipline. In that, you know, we are not, most of us are responsible, but there are a lot of irresponsible people. People who need someone standing over them with a whip, you know, in order for them to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And one of the problems with the enforcement of the Litter Act is the fact that it has not been sustainable.
Right.
Because I don't know if you remember, we in Mayaro Rio Claro, for certain periods during 2009 and probably 2011, we hired litter prevention wardens for short periods of time.
Yes, I remember that.
And that was not effective because enforcement is a long-term thing. So that we are hoping now with the ministry's initiative that we would have the required result that we need because of the fact that we are going to be having sustainable enforcement.
Right. Okay. So we have the litter wardens on board, and we have identified one of the areas that that would be an offense. What the litter prevention warden you could be charged for. One of the offense is business or residents putting out garbage on unscheduled days and time. So we're supposed to fall in line with, you're supposed to be aware, you're supposed to be conscious on what are your scheduled garbage collection days and time.
Yeah.
Garbage are collected in the morning. Don't put out garbage midday, because you're leaving that for the dogs to have a time, have a field day.
Exactly.
And then as a whole, next terrible situation of the environment. We have been doing, I must commend Mr. Kitson, we have been doing a pretty good job in the region of Mayaro Rio Claro, and very much particular Mayaro Guaiguari, in terms of upkeep of our environment, because Mr. Kitson was being meeting with me, and I'll be on the case all the time about having vehicles outside, having things outside, getting the place clear up, placing the place clear up every time, and because on time. And really and truly, the district of Mayaro Guaiguari is pretty clean. We just have certain areas where we would remove the waste today, and 2 days after that, the same amount retains. I don't know where all that waste comes from, but our area is not that bad. So Mr. Kitson, that is one. Secondly, what are the other areas that that would affect the residents of the community? What are the other areas that we could expect to see the litter wardens targeting? I heard some people, taxi drivers, taxi drivers talking and taxi drivers talking, what the act have about vehicles for hire.
With vehicles for hire would be your maxis and taxis. They are required to provide at least one receptacle for receiving litter from their passengers. That is a requirement by law, and if anyone wants to check to ensure that we are actually giving valid information, they can pull up the Litter Act on the website and access the Litter Act, Chapter 3052, and they can refer to Section 3B, which makes it an offense not to have receptacles in your taxi while you're applying for hire. Also, the Litter Act covers things like vehicles traversing public roadways with unsecured loads, loads that are likely to fall off or blow off,
Right.
which would speak mostly to people who have these large dump trucks, people who do a lot of transport and so on. That unsecured loads is an offense. That is punishable by the Act. Depositing litter from a vehicle, that is also an offense against the Act. Depositing litter in a private premises or a public premises not owned by you is also an offense. Aiding and abetting someone to deposit litter in a public place or in private premises is also an offense punishable under the Act. So there are a lot of offenses under the Act.
So these we see people taking a van, load up the waste and garbage in a van, and they drive at the corner of Cedar Grove Road and they empty there, or they drive up by the opposite the home for the senior citizen and they throw their waste there, or they drive down inside Hing Wang Drive down to the back and they empty thing there, or they drive up the hill at Eccles Road West and past all the houses and they dump their things there, or they go up Big Rat Hill and go way up in the back and they dump their thing there. All that is an offense.
Yes, all those are offenses under the Act.
And because they are creating illegal dumps.
Illegal dumps. And we have started doing some surveillance in most of those areas, and we intend to launch a huge program together with our municipal police to do a couple of sting operations in those areas. Right? At present, we have them under surveillance. We're watching those areas. We're looking for people who might want to break the law.
Right.
Right? So that we have a plan, and we're moving with the plan.
Right.
And hopefully soon the plan would bear some fruit.
Okay. What is the fine? When you say that there's an offense and people will be charged, what is the fine for those illegal acts?
The fine for littering a public place is $2,000 for an individual, and or 6 months imprisonment, and for a body corporate, $4,000.
Okay.
Now, these are the maximum fines allowable under the Act. The magistrate has the discretion in actually imposing the fines.
Okay.
Right? But those are the maximum fine on the books.
So the magistrate could impose a lesser fine?
The magistrate could impose a lesser fine. The magistrate could not impose a fine at all.
Oh, and you could just put an imprisonment?
They could put an imprisonment, or the magistrate, depending on whether the person complied with the notice given to the offender, because offenders are given notices. Right? Most times you would give an offender a citation.
Okay,
and
to remove and clear it up. Okay.
Give them a chance to comply.
Right.
If there is no compliance within the period given on the notice, then the matter is taken to court. Lots of times when the person gets the summons, they would comply. However, they still have to attend court.
Right.
Now, in situations like that, sometimes the magistrate would tend to be lenient and reprimand and discharge the person.
Because they complied.
Because they complied.
Okay.
But the maximum fine on conviction is $2,000 for an individual.
Okay. And how, now that we have litter prevention wardens who are out there doing the work, right? But how could a member of the public assist in these situations, in reporting, in bringing bringing information about one who is perpetrating the illegal act? How can one assist in that?
Yes, that is an issue that that we would want to encourage. We'd want to encourage people to become part of the whole drive towards making the region a cleaner region. And what people need to understand is that litter prevention is not just the business of the corporation and the litter prevention wardens. It's everybody's business,
Right.
because it affects everybody.
Yes.
And therefore, what I would like is to encourage members of the public, when they observe breaches of the Litter Act, to call the office at 644-2261 and ask to be put onto the complaints desk, where the officer would take note of the complaint and refer it to our litter prevention unit for investigation.
Right, but what is required of the person who is noticing? Now, let's say I driving on the road and I am seeing this truck or this van dumping us a litter in the back by Hingwang Drive. Now, time I call the corporation and the police come or the litter prevention wouldn't come, they dump and they go. So, what is my role in making a meaningful contribution towards that person being caught or being brought to justice for them to be given a notice or a charge or whatever?
Right, you take the number of the vehicle, try and take note of the registration number of the vehicle, note the color of the vehicle, if it's during the daylight and you could see the color, maybe the make of the vehicle would be helpful, so that when you call in you can give that information. And this is where a lot of people tend to shy away from giving information, because when you give that sort of information, because of the fact that the litter prevention ward would not have observed the act, you would have to come to court as a witness to the act. And that is what a lot of people shy away from. So a lot of times you would investigate matters of littering. People know who breached the act. People know who the offenders are, but they're not willing to come to court.
So if I driving on the road and I saw I drive on the road and I see littering taking place, man offloading this thing, and I stop, I take a picture of him dumping it, and in that picture I take the picture that will include the number of the vehicle, the color of the vehicle, the man in the actual dumping in action, and print that picture and give it to the litter prevention warden. Does it still would require I to be a witness in the court?
Yes, it would still require you to be a witness.
Okay. So that picture would not, the officer cannot work with that picture?
No, the picture would be helpful as evidence.
Helpful.
But the
person
who
took the picture.
It's
not a go to court.
has to go to court.
Okay. All right. The bins in the facility in the maxi taxi or taxis. A few people were calling to find out or complaining about the health aspect of having a bin in their vehicle for trash, and they were complaining. So it's an outdated thing. If we have how you have been in your car, and how that is an unhealthy thing. And you can't, if you have that, you can't drive with your glass down, and all these, a few different pointers they were pointing out about that. But I told them, and I don't know, you would tell me, I told them, listen, an act is an act. And whatever situation we identify now that makes it kind of unsuitable, it doesn't change the fact that it's an act. Yeah. Yes. So that if anything different, that act has to be revised and that aspect of it changed. But once it is the act, it is an offense.
Yeah, and it has to be enforced.
It has to be enforced.
Yeah, it would be irresponsible of us to enforce the act in bits and pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, that would show some sort of bias. Right? And the fact is, in a taxi or a maxi taxi, you don't expect people to be coming in there with chicken guts or fish entrails or anything that would cause obnoxious odors. Yeah. The most somebody might come in with is maybe a pack of nuts, so they'll have a brown paper bag, or somebody might come in with a soft drink, so they'll have a plastic bottle or a bottle of water. Yeah. You know, you don't expect that people would come in there, maxi, with something that would be so obnoxious that it would create this odor. That, you know.
Okay.
And the thing is, some of the taxi drivers indicate that the way the internal components of the vehicle are put together now, it doesn't have space for a receptacle. Now, a receptacle could be a bag.
Okay, pull on the point there. So, we are, as I said, the numbers are 221-7674, extension 400. We take a short break at this time, and when we return, any question that you want to ask Mr. Kitson, I'll give you the opportunity to call and get any information. If not, and you think it was a job well done and you understood all that was said, fine. But as we return, I'll give you an opportunity to make your call to find out anything that you want to. So we take a short break and return. Don't change the station.
The Trinidad and Tobago Canoe Kayaking Federation presents its 4th annual kayaking event, the Maritime Ottawa River Race 2013, sponsored by the Maritime Financial Group, on Sunday, 1st of September 2013. Starting time, 9 a.m. There are 2 main races, the 21-kilometer for the experienced competitive paddlers and the 7-kilometer for the intermediate beginner paddlers. Both are scheduled to start at 9 a.m. Registration before the 30th of August are only $100 adults and 18 years and under, $50 for youths. After the 30th, registration fees are $130 and $70 respectively. Pre-registration is advised to secure your kayak if you need to rent one. Rental fees are only $60 for surf skis and sea kayaks with sit-on tops, $40. Prizes include trophies, medals, and cash prize for first place winners in both races. There will be fun kayaking events open to the public from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Small kayaks and paddlers are available for children, so bring the entire family. Barbecue will be on sale by the Ottawa Village Council. That's right, 1st of September 2013, the Maritime Ottawa River Race 2013. Don't you miss it.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is back every Tuesday, 8 to 9 p.m. on MCTV3 Live, with yours truly, the Poor People's Governor. Be viewing and be part of the discussion as we tackle issues in our community. Join our Facebook fan page by searching for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or even video call us live on Skype. You can even follow me on Twitter at Kyron The Voice. So don't forget, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is back every Tuesday night, 8 to 9 p.m. live on MCTV3. You don't want to miss this.
Early Holidays Internet Promotion. This month of July, view, stream, and surf today with MCTV Cable and Broadband. MCTV is offering over 50% off high-speed internet installation. Our broadband services are available at the following areas: Bristol Village, Rest House, Ottawa, Milan, and Union. Existing cable customers can apply for MCTV internet service and get over 50% off. You pay only $2.99 for installation. New cable and internet customers save a lot and get hundreds off your entire installation package. Hurry up and come on down to MCTV office today to sign up or inquire about these services while this promotion lasts.
I have anything you want for building purposes, right? I have half and half, 3/4 gravel, 3/8, inch and a half, sharp sand, red sand, soak away stone. I have material to even build road. I have 2 of them 10-wheeler that's only be bringing material day and night. 2 small trucks delivering to people's houses.
We have tent also at Notice Transport. We have different type of tent, 10 by 10, 15, 20. We have different type of chairs, table, round table, stage, tablecloth, etc.
Now Seed Transport, suppliers of national quarries, sand and gravel. Contact us at 755-0067 or 359-2241. For tents and chair rentals, call 318-4327 or 723-6381. And for wrecking services, call 306-0652 or 321-3836.
Okay, welcome back to Community Corner with your counselor Raymond Cozier. And as I was saying, we have in studio Mr. William Kitson, the public health officer, sharing information with us as it relates to the Litter Act and the engagement of our litter prevention wardens. So, Mr. Kitson, we were talking about receptacles in the car. Yeah. And so what we're saying is that we can't do anything about that. Nobody can do anything about it unless the act is changed, unless that act is revisited at Parliament, yeah, and they make the necessary changes, then we will abide with whatever happens there. Yeah. But right now, the act is to be enforced as it is. Right. So, as I said, any information, anyone have anything they want to ask Mr. Kitson, you can do so now. Call, make your call, ask any question you want. If not, Mr. Kitson, so we have our litter prevention wardens now, and have they been to Mayaro areas yet?
Yes, we've been to Mayaro area.
Okay.
We've done some patrols throughout Mayaro, Guayari. We visited a scrap dealer. Mm-hmm. We had to speak to because of the manner in which he had his scrap stored. It was deleterious to the neighborhood and the community. We also visited Schooners Road. Yeah.
Heavy dumping takes place there. Yeah.
So we've been patrolling the Mayaro district. We've been patrolling throughout the region, as a matter of fact.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to hear that, because you know I am very jealous of the electoral district of Mayaro. So I'm happy to hear that, and well, a few times some of you call me and to share information with me on where people are dumping, and I would tell you, listen, take a picture and what on. Now, you have heard today, it's not just about taking a picture. Even though you take a picture, you also have to be prepared to stand in the court and be a witness to the fact that you took this picture and you saw this man dumping. So if you're not willing to do that, then taking the picture is null and void. You can still report. If you see dumping taking place and you're not willing to go that distance, you can still report, because it could be a situation where you must monitor to see if it's a one and done thing, or if it is a continuous situation where they're dumping, so that some monitoring could be done by the public health department and probably catch the guy or catch the perpetrator in the act. But this is not the public health department concern alone. This is a situation that we need to have to be partnered with. The public health department want to partner with the residents of the different communities and work alongside each other towards the preservation and restoration of our environment. So it's not that they are out to just charge people, or they are out to be spiteful, or they are out to make people's lives miserable, but they are out to preserve the environment and to avoid those people who wants to make people's lives miserable by littering and by destroying the beauty of the environment. They are there to deal with those people. So, any closing words, Mr. Kitson?
I would just like to encourage the general population out there to cooperate with us, cooperate with the Litter Prevention Unit of the Mayaro Rio Claro Regional Corporation. Litter prevention is everyone's business because littering affects everyone. Littering could generate vectors of disease. Litter can cause or be a major contributor to flooding. And we know that with flooding, we can have diseases, the transmission of diseases. We also have economic loss. We have loss of lives. And therefore, the public partnering with us can avoid that sort of destruction. And therefore, we are asking that people cooperate with the Litter Prevention Unit to make Mayaro Rio Claro a healthier, safer environment.
Okay, so Davidson, what I forgot to ask. People's home, people's private home, people's yard, does the Litter Prevention Warden has the authority to enter homes and serve notices to homes that are in terrible condition in terms of very unsanitary and in a terrible condition in terms of
Generally, no.
okay.
The Litter Prevention Warden basically deals with litter in a public place.
places.
Or litter on premises where the litter can be viewed from a public roadway.
Okay.
However, under special circumstances, the local authority can authorize any person, including the Litter Prevention Warden, to enter premises that are deemed to be unsightly or deleterious to the neighborhood or to the community by reason of litter thereon. So that in that case, the Litter Prevention Warden doesn't have the power, but the local authority has the power to authorize entry onto premises.
Okay, because I have had situation where people would call me and complain about the condition that their neighbor has their surroundings, and the obnoxious smell that would come from how they have their place, and why don't we do something about it? And so that's why I asked that question.
But for the Litter Prevention Warden or for the local authority to enforce that, it has to be by reason of litter thereon. Any other insanitary condition would have to be dealt with by the Public Health Inspectorate at the Eastern Regional Health Authority.
Okay. Okay, well, I want to say thank you very, very much, Mr. Kitson, for accepting the invitation to come to have a conversation with you on Community Corner. the information you shared here with us is very highlighting and very educational. I look forward for you, the members of the community, partnering with us and working in accordance with what is required of you to treat, to be kind to the environment, and to respect others' space, because the public places is not for you alone. The public places is for you and for me and for others, and for you alone to take a decision to go and litter and demoralize and unsanitize and destroy the beautification of the environment or of the public place. So that is rather selfish of you, and there is a price for that. So we expect you to do what's right. We expect you to fall in line. We expect you to work with us. We expect you to contribute to the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is making Mayaro Rio Claro, and in very much particular, Mayaro Guaiguari, a cleaner place. And a place that when one visits, they are enthused, they are fascinated by the beauty and the cleanliness of our community. So that when they leave here and say, well, Mayaro is a clean place, boy. Guaya is a clean place, boy. We could go back to that place anytime. We could go Guaya to go on the beach. We could go Mayaro to go on the beach. We could go Mayaro to drive to the place and just enjoy the freshness and the beauty of the place. So we are encouraging you to partner with us with this vision, and that we don't have to have the litter prevention wardens charge you for you to start doing the right thing. Because, let me tell you, you will be charged. You will be charged. And here is $2,000 or 6 months imprisonment. You will be charged, because we are determined to see this place, the environment, have it in a better place. That's why we struggle to have the litter prevention warden. We had the support of Mr. Kitson and other members of the corporation who work with us in preparing and having litter prevention wardens to be out there to preserve the environment. So we urge you to fall in line, partner with us. Let us make this place a beautiful place. Let us leave this place better than we met it. You do your part, and we'll do our part. So let me take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you, thank all the viewers for having us in your home. I just want to share a little information. Today I attended a domestic violence program at the resource center of the old Mayaro Hospital. And we had some startling information. Domestic violence and incest in Mayaro and Guaiguari is extremely high. Something that you would never imagine. But if they has the information, if they get the report, and if they do the visit, so they have the information. Domestic violence and incest is on a very, very high percentage in our community. And in a subsequent program, I will go more in depth. Like, it is so serious that I can't close this program without saying something about that. You, the public, has a responsibility. You know, we see things happening and we say that's not our business, and we turn our eyes. But you are obligated to report any abuse of any child that you see taking place, you are obligated by law to report that. It is not their business, and it's not private business, and it's not that is not my business. No, it is an offense by law for you to be aware, to see, and you don't have any information of a child being abused and do nothing. To the mother who is aware of their child being abused by stepfather or by uncle or by brother and don't do anything about that, you too will be charged, and you too could be jailed and could be imprisoned for doing nothing. And they shared a lot of information, a lot of experiences, we had some testimonies. And listen, and I too are aware of a situation where children or child reporting to the mother of one's stepfather or close people related to the family who are molesting them, and they don't believe the child, or they pretend they don't believe the child just because they want to turn the next side. You will be charged for that. So that is a very serious issue, and I'm calling on the members of our community, I'm calling on family members to take a stand and denounce child abuse, child molestation, domestic violence, and incest. Take a stand against that. Report any situation that you see. We have special officers who are trained to deal with those situations, and there will be more programs. They'll be going out more into the communities, because from 2008 there is a constant increase in those cases. The amount of people, a lot of children who have been killed, and they were killed by that people didn't know. People know that was happening and did nothing. They talk about Amy, they talk about Daniel, they talk about all those children that were killed, and people did nothing. We must put a stop to that, and you contribute to making the end of that situation. If you see something, do not turn your eye. Do not say that's not your business. It is a child, an innocent child, that we all are to protect. Once again, I say thank you for having me in your home this evening, and thank Mr. Kitson for being part of the program. I hope the information brought to you this evening would be of some meaningfulness to you, and you would make good use of it. Take care. God bless us all. I love my community. Good evening.
Welcome back to the Community Corner.
Thank you very much, sir.
Raymond Cozier. CCC is much more than a program. It's a commitment that I have made to all members of Mayaro and environs to help us move forward as a community. The show thus far has covered issues that affect us as a person and also as a body. Issues such as crime, family hardship, children's behavior, and even financial stability that plague us on a daily basis. One conversation isn't going to fix all the problems. What is intended is that using this medium of CCC right here on MCTV3 to help us find solutions to deal with these matters. I'm Raymond Cozier, your host of Community Corner, and I love my community.